Hello, Christian here. Being successful as a chef is not just about making great food. It's really about building a strong foundation. So stick around because today we lay the foundation for your future. Hello and welcome. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. Thanks for listening in today. Today, I want to talk about what are really the foundations and what makes a chef successful. And as we started this out, it's not just about great food, it's about having a strong foundation. And this is cross industry. It doesn't matter if you're a restaurateur, if you're a hotelier, if you fixes cars. It's not about the final product, it's about having the round foundation. And for me, to start this off, what is the foundation of success? For me, it starts with passion and purpose. Because for me, passion is the fuel that ignites success, and purpose is the compass which helps you to get there. And it's as simple as that. My journey in the culinary industry started as I was 12. I helped my family in the kitchen, and that passion for creating memorable meal drives me ever since. For me, I don't look at my job as a chef. I look at myself as an architect of memories because that's really what we do. We're building memories for people to come back, build their own memories with their families, with their communities, and with their business partners. So, how do you find your passion? You really need to look deep. What drives you? What is your joy in what you do? What is your joy in creating? What satisfies you? What is the joy in creating that dish you do which satisfies others? What is that drill of motivation for you? Keep purpose in the forefront of everything what you do because purpose is the beginning. As we said, passion is the fuel that ignites success, but purpose is the compass that guides it. So for me, number one, we need to start with that. So hopefully that resonates with you. The second thing, and you hear me talk about this all the time, is not just self-education, but self-improvement in a way. The way I educate myself, the way do I train. I remember rolling out to or enrolled into the culinary school, which rolled out this new program at the time. And I think if you would do it today, they would call it more like an entrepreneurial program. But as they rolled it out and the first time they spoke about it, it really resonated with me. It wanted me, or for me, it was like I wanted to do more than just make great food. I wanted to make an impact in the restaurant I work, make an impact in the community I serve, and then also make an impact in my career and in my family. And that hands-on experience and the learning from some really amazing chefs really not just shape, but truly shape my culinary skills and who I am today. And a few days ago, I just spoke with somebody. I said, "Hey, what do you think would happen if you had made different decisions?" Well, what about Christian? If you guys know my story, I was in coma for 10 days in a hospital for 14 months. Christian, what would have happened to you if that didn't happen to you? And for me, it's simple. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I honestly believe we are joint averages of the experiences and the impacts people had on us. So therefore, make sure you invest in your self development, in your training. Because as you invest in your skill, and you probably heard it said if you read a half hour in your field in a year, you're going to be in the top 5% of your industry. So, how about we take that model and we work a half hour, maybe just 15 minutes on ourselves? If we improve ourselves 50 minutes, half hour a day, by that law, we should be the top 5% of the industry. And you only do this with a learner's mindset. You could take online courses, go to workshops, you can go to seminars. There's just so many great things out there. But my advice to you is never stop learning. Then we need to build skills. You need to take an honest inventory. What is it you're good at? What are some of the things you know you need to work on? Not just where you need to work on, where you need to improve upon, and just get radically different or radically better. Because as you do this and you learn new skills and new techniques and new ways of looking things, it will shape the foundation on what you do and how you will act. And that also for me is that it's really important to be around people which think like you, people which are successful, which have that success learners mindset. Because when you hang around that, you're gonna feel different. You're gonna hear different language. When you hear different language, it will, for you, create different thoughts. And when you think differently, you will act differently. If you act differently, you will have totally different outcomes. So it's really important for you to have that learner's mindset. So make sure you honestly dedicate time each day to hone your skill from basic techniques to advanced skills, whatever that might be for you. The segment for me around that is, how do you not just navigate the world? How can I explore and get the most out of it? You heard it said, your network is your net worth. I always thought it was just a clever play of words. But what I realized, connections can open doors, connections can put you in touch with people you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to meet. Connections can help you shorten that learning curve, or it can help you get ahead of something you normally wouldn't be able to do because somebody believes in you and they put you in front of the line. So I can't stress enough how important networking is. Keep an open mind. Not just be an intentional networker. Go out there and be intentional in what you do and find those opportunities for you to have not just that incredible opportunity to meet amazing people, but give back. You can do this by industry events. You could do this by joining professional organizations. You can engage with peers. You can go and do this on social media, what we do here. You can build your own network by working with a mentor or have some other career advancements. And for that, we need to overlay that continuous, not just learning, but innovation. So one of my proudest moments was when I introduced a new concept into that hotel I worked at in Austria, and that became the restaurant concept which I sold, which brought me to the US. It wasn't just that I was so innovative. I was also lucky, therefore, live lucky, what is my motto today. For me, it was more than necessity. And for me, I took a hard look and a hard inventory. What do we do really well and how can you serve the customers better? And having that concept where most of the food came from the kitchen was it. And it struck a chord with a guest, which introduced me to the right person. That person put me in front of a whole board. And that was my first big business deal. So really important. So go to those events. Make sure that you keep your mind open for some new ideas. Make sure that you're out there, because honest and intentional innovation keeps your creations fresh and it keeps it exciting. So then we need to overlay quality and consistency. And you hear me, and I talk about it a lot. I learned very early on that maintaining a high standard of consistency is key in everything you do. You probably heard it said, the way you do one thing, you do everything. And for me, I think that's never more true than in the culinary industry. If you take shortcuts on a dish, you will take shortcuts on other things. And if you take shortcuts, it will come back. So no shortcuts. Overlay that quality of consistency. Make sure you have high standards of yourself, not just your team, because consistency builds trust. It builds trust with your team and it builds trust with your guest. So really, really important. And for me, number three is, how do I achieve? I don't like the word balance. For me, it's more being intentional and have an impact. Because for me, balance isn't just about giving equal time to everything, it's about giving the right time to the right things. Let me say this again. Balance isn't about giving equal time to everything, it's about giving the right time to the right things. And for me, it took me a long time to learn that. So, for an example, I was working 16 hours a day, and it took a real toll on my health and my family life. Finding a balance was crucial for me for long-term success. I went to a workshop with Wayne Dyer, and a lot of you which follow me probably heard that story. And he said something which I still remember today. He said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And for me, I was beating myself up because I wasn't as healthy as I wanted to be. I didn't have the relationships with my families the way I wanted it to be. So I had to take a hard look. And I realized for me, just giving the right amount of time to the right things made all the impact. And hopefully it will do the same for you. So you need to take care of yourself. You have time for self care, put around boundaries, not just the boundaries, have non negotiables. What are the things you will not stand for? What are the things you will not allow people to do? What are the things you will do no longer? It will make all the impact for you. Because as you take that time for yourself and your families and engage in activities outside of work, it will recharge you. And I think that's the purpose of vacation. Going somewhere is not about spending just oodles and noodles of time with the people you love. I mean, that's a great thing, but I think it just clears your mind. Getting out of the kitchen is really, really important. And from there, let's overlay community engagement. One of the most fulfilling parts of my career has been giving back to community, hosting classes, doing stuff for underprivileged kids and families. It just gave me a new sense of purpose. Engaging in your community through events and charity work, whatever works for you, builds collaboration. It builds a strong community ties that enrich you, your career, and your personal life. So really, really important. Then you always hear me talk about mentorship. You need to mentor young chefs. You not just need to mentor, you need to actively invest in them. Mentoring young chefs has been incredibly rewarding for me. And actually, we hosting an event for an ACF chapter in a very short period of time where we give back to the chapters and we kind of share a little bit what we learned. And I call that my journey from chef to entrepreneur. So become a mentor, share your knowledge. It's a great way to give back. It's a great way to build long lasting relationships, not just with your community, but also in the industry. And then we need to set intentional goals and we need to reflect on it. Every year, we have this goal setting workshop. If you guys follow us, we have these events at the end of the year where we do goal setting, not just for the year, for the next 3 to 5 years. I honestly believe you need goals in order to go where you need to go. Sometimes I beat myself up because I wish I would have had taken this more serious earlier. I made some goals a few years ago and I happened to just keep him here. And I printed them out just a very short time ago and looking through what my goal was 5 years ago, which was unimaginable, doing what we do today. I hit every single one of them. So now I set goals, not just which are huge in their own rights. For me, I make goals which feed my personal life, my career, my community, and the industry. And that's what we do. And having regular short and long term goals is super important. You need to reflect on the progress because it will not just strengthen the things you need, it will also adjust your strategies in what you need. So, really, really important. For me, segment 4 is about overcoming common challenges. And as a chef, you've probably seen a lot of them, and that's all around burnout. Do I have the right solution? Lack of not just business skills, but lack of solutions, lack of a limited network because I don't have the opportunity to do it out there and not having the right solutions for it. So burnout is, burnout is long hours, high pressure environment, which our stuff is. It takes a physical demand on your body, and that's where stress and burnout comes in. Then also I overlay a lack of business skills also fuels burnout. It fuels because many chefs do lack that business acumen you need to be successful today. And it adds a level of stress, doesn't it, for you? It certainly did for me. And then also make sure you network, not leveraging your industry networks or connections, and not just connections can really limit your success. It can limit your achievement and it could limit your impact in your career and also in your family and in your community. And then we need to overlay the business at large because when we have or take care of that career piece with the burnout, we have those business skills we know we need to learn. And then also when I want to take advantage of, or will take more advantage of my networking opportunities, we need to overlay business. We need to be consistent. Inconsistent quality is not something which we can stand for because maintaining a high standard consistently can be a challenge. So we need to do that. Also, poor financial planning and budgeting takes a huge stress and toll on the industry. And then also failing to innovate the way you know you need to in order to stay on top of the game adds pressure. And then we add the family life. Also, having that long hours has that strain on your relationships with your spouse and with your kids. It puts a strain on your health. There's, physical and mental health issues due to stress. We talk about this all the time. If you look at the numbers, I think the latest number we had was 2019. There was 364,000 people checking themselves in the substance abuse program. 100 plus thousand got divorced. And at the time, we had over 1,000 suicide in our industry. This is not acceptable. We need to change that. Because when you overlay this and look at us at a community at large, having a lack of involvement in your community can isolate you. We don't want that. It can not just isolate you, it will isolate you from chefs, from local support networks. For me, as a culinarian, you need to belong to a mastermind. You need to belong to an organization where you are around like-minded people, where you can raise your hand and say, I need help here. Do you know what I can do about this? I feel overwhelmed. I really need to find a way or a different way of doing things. You can do this with the right community. Because as you build that right community, or if you don't have it, that negative reviews and poor public relations you get just beats up on you. Not engaging in the social responsibility practices affects your community relationships and support. It's also a must. And therefore, when we talk about the foundation, it needs to become the foundation. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of our family. We need to take care of our community, whatever that looks like for you. I know I drew a lot at you today, but for me, being really successful and having that foundation of success is exactly what we talked about. We need to have that foundation of success, having that passion to keep me going, because passion, as we talked about, is the fuel that ignites success. But purpose is the compass which gets us there. From there, we need to overlaying how we navigate the culinary world, because your network is your network. Connecting opens doors and it will give you opportunities which otherwise wouldn't exist. Then we need to overlay that achievement of balance and impact, that work-life balance. We talked about the community engagement, the mentorship you can engage in to kind of give back to the community. We need to have the right goals and reflect on it. Because if you don't hit a goal, it doesn't mean we are a failure. The road to success and the road to failure is the same road. The people which don't succeed get off too early. So don't be that person. And then finally, we need to overcome those common challenges around career burnout, about business inconsistent quality and financial management. We need to become stronger at. Also around family, that we have that work-life balance, that we take care of ourselves and take care of our community. Because I honestly believe if you follow these steps, you will be successful, not just as a chef, because these principles and these laws took me 30 years to learn. They are universal. If you want to sell microphones, same principles work. If you want to make hats, same principles work. If you want to make a great, amazing meal, these systems work. If you want to become an architect of memories, it work for you as well. So with that, I want to say thank you for being here. Hopefully you found some value in today's conversation. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. Leave us a review. We read every single one. Share this with a fellow chef or entrepreneur. Make sure you follow us on social media because that's where we have more tips, tricks, and updates out there. Also, if you haven't done so, please go to the Disruptive Chef Club, which is our private community. We're doing just an event in a few days where we kind of reconnect and give back to that community. And remember, if you haven't done so, please, please remember to take care of yourself. Balance your plate, balance your life, and master that success in your kitchen and beyond. And remember, go out there, disrupt your kitchen, fire up your career, stay hungry for change. I'm Christian, your disruptive chef entrepreneur host. I'm out of here. So go out there, be the chef, be the challenge, and be the chef who sets the world on fire. Until next time, make sure you go out there and stay disruptive.